Hello, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Augi Nadya Zahrah Armadiva, and my student number is 163. I'm from Semiotic class B. So here I would like to present my discussion about a short story by Shirley Jackson, The Possibility of Evil. The title of my analysis is the portrayal of deception in appearance in short story, The Possibility of Evil, analysis utilizing a semiotic theoretical approach. So this presentation contains introduction, which includes summary of the story and the issue that I found, and then analysis, which is the finding, including symbolism, displacing, distorting, and creating. And then the conclusion, and the last one is the reference. So this is the first section, introduction. Shirley Jackson's The Possibility of Evil was initially published in the Saturday Evening Post on December 18th, 1965, a few months after the author's death. It went on to win the Edgar Allan Poe Award for Best Mystery Short Story in 1966. Jackson's narrative is a brilliant exploration of the disparity between appearance and truth, employing literary tropes such as foreshadowing or irony. So this is the summary of the story. The story is written in third person by the protagonist, Miss Adela Strangeworth. She is a wealthy elderly woman who lives alone in an unnamed little town. She takes great pride in her frost garden, her exalted social status, and her role in the town's history. The story follows Miss Strangeworth as she goes about her daily routine. She first goes grocery shopping at Mr. Lewis' local store. Then Strangeworth stops on her way out to enthuse over Helen Crane's baby, another neighbor and acquaintance. She brushes away Mrs. Crane's fears that her 6-month-old baby is not yet moving around. And then Miss Strangeworth walks home, getting townspeople and wondering about their mental well-being. Once home, Miss Strangeworth began to write a letter about an issue she encountered in her town that day that she considered evil. Miss Strangeworth never writes her name on the letters in order to remain anonymous. She is aware that her letters are harsh, but she believes that they are important to cleanse the town of evil. She mailed those gossip letters about her neighbors to the local post office, but she dropped one of the letters, which is what eventually exposed her actions all this time. So this is the issue that I found in this story. The main issue that I believe is quite evident throughout the story and that I have chosen to discuss in my analysis is deception of appearance. It means that the appearance of someone can be deceiving, or we cannot actually judge a book by its cover. This narrative examines how an object's appearance cannot simply describe it. Miss Strangeworth is portrayed as an elderly lady who is reasonably pleasant and harmless, especially when it comes to her neighbor's life. She appears to be a prideful lady who believes she owns her town. Her interaction with the people of her community appear to be friendly. As a result of her numerous talks with members of the community, she may look to them as a generally calm, loving, and caring woman. Yet Miss Strangeworth, despite her lovely appearance, is not what everyone thinks she is. She is very deceptive, and the letters she delivers are the very cause of the evil she is attempting to stop. So in this analysis, I will examine the connection between the issue I raised and the symbol that emerged in the story. I also used Riffaterre's theory to analyze the meaning using 3 methods. The first one is displacing, when the sign shifts from one meaning to another, as happens in metaphor or metonymy. And the second is distorting. It is when the text followed with ambiguity, contradiction, or nonsense. The last one is creating, or when the text space is used as a guiding concept in an organization to create signs from linguistic components that may or may not be meaningful, such as rhyme or enjambment. So we're moving on to the analysis. The first one is the symbolism. This is the first point, is the rose in Miss Strangeworth's garden. Roses are renowned for their beauty, romantic gestures, and delectably fragrant aroma. And most people think of roses as a charming and lovely flower, but when they were cut, it was as if you were seeing through the rose's beauty and seeing it for its thorns. Rose is related with the issue of deception of appearance in the possibility of evil, because rose appears to be a calm and kind flower, yet they can hurt you if you are not careful. The second point is Miss Strangeworth itself. The issue of appearance deception is very connected to Miss Strangeworth, since she has deceived everyone in her town that she is a respectable, gentle, and considerate lady. But it turns out she spreads evil and gossip about her neighbors through letters in which she purposefully did not write her name as the sender. Miss Strangeworth's personality is linked to the rose in some way, since her outward demeanor can be compared to the beauty of the roses, yet her thoughts and methods of thinking can be compared to the thorns. The last point is the house of Strangeworth. Miss Strangeworth's house is also associated with the issue of deceptive appearance. From the outside, her house appears to be gorgeous and serene, and she has a beautiful garden with many roses planted. However, the house contains evil traces on the inside, because that is where all the rumors and gossip are written on the letters. The evidence that the house is pretty is in the story looked with deep pleasure at her house, with the red and pink and white roses massed along the narrow lawn, and the rambler going up along the porch, and the neat, unbelievably trim lines of the house itself, with its slimness and its washed white look. So this is the method that I use, which is the Riffaterre method. The first one is displacing meaning. Displacing meaning can be defined as a sign that transforms from one meaning to another through a figure of speech to express it, similar to how metaphor or metonymy work. One of the kinds of figure of speech that occur in the story is metaphor, which means used to make a comparison between two things that are not alike, but to have something in common. The first one is, how old is Her Highness now? This is one of the dialogues that occurred when Miss Strangeworth met one of her neighbors, Helen Crane, and was discussing her baby who has a slow movement development. With those sentences, Miss Strangeworth simply asks her baby's age, with Her Highness practically indicates a princess or a daughter of a king. Miss Strangeworth used a metaphor to address Helen Crane's baby, and she called her baby Her Highness, even though Mrs. Crane is not a queen or ruler of a kingdom. It is actually to respond to the fact that her parents coddle her and give her what she wants, thus demonstrating Miss Strangeworth's judgment about the baby's parents. The next one is, the sun was shining, the air was fresh and clear after the night's heavy rain, and everything in town looked washed in bright. This phrase appears in the first paragraph of the story as the author describes the town or location where the story is set. The phrase town looked washed in bright is a metaphor for the author's creative way of conveying that the weather in the city is very nice. Hence, the city's appearance is really beautiful. She drew the shades. It's really beautiful. And the next one is she drew the shades, took the rose satin spread from the bed, slipped out of her dress and her shoes. The expression is used to indicate that Miss Strangeworth is about to take a nap and prepare her bed. The phrase rose satin spread is a metaphor since the author compares the color of Miss Strangeworth's bedspread to the color of a rose. The second method is distorting meaning. Ambiguity. Look out at what used to be your roses. This line above somehow describes an ambiguous meaning. This is the message from the letter returned to Miss Strangeworth, which contains threats with confusing, ambiguous, and deviant meaning. It's only written about an instruction to look at Miss Strangeworth's roses, but it is unclear what it has really done with the roses. Perhaps it is hinted that Miss Strangeworth rose was destroyed, but it is also unclear how it was destroyed and who destroyed it. We don't know who exactly ruined Miss Strangeworth roses. It may have been the entire town or just one person. The second one is the contradiction. She had been writing her letters, sometimes 2 or 3 every day for a week, sometimes no more than 1 in a month for the past year. She never got any answers, of course, because she never signed her name. If she had been asked, she would have said that her name, Adela Strangeworth, a name honored in the town for so many years, did not belong on such trash. The next dialogue. But people everywhere were lustful and evil and degraded. I needed to be watched. The world was so large. After writing those harsh letters, Miss Strangeworth arrived at this moment. She imagines how she will respond to those who ask about her involvement with the letters when she has written them. She would say her name is Adela Strangeworth and that she would never be involved in something like this because she thinks it's filthy work that Strangeworth would never do. This contradicts her subsequent statement in which she declared that she is the only Strangeworth remaining in the world and that it is her purpose to clear the community of all evil, implying that she admits that she is Strangeworth and that she must perform the trash work after all. The last one is nonsense. Nonsense words have no meaning because they are not found in a dictionary. Linguistically, this term have no meaning. Noisy has meaning in literary parlance and can take the form of a collection of meaningless sounds or phrases. Based on my findings, there are no nonsense terms in the text since nonsense is frequently found in mantra literary works. This is the last method, creating meaning. A rhyme is a pattern of comparable sounds repeated in 2 or more words. In short stories, the emphasis is on the rhyme while still telling a story. It will feature the enjoyable component of rhyming as well as the value of a plot and is typically created for children's story sessions. Sweet Tooth Down is one such example. However, since the possibility of evil is not a rhyming story, I was unable to find any correlation of sound between words. Finally, we're arrived at the conclusion. So to summarize my findings, Shirley Jackson's The Possibility of Evil is very much related to the issue of appearance deception, where some signs are readily identifiable, such as on a rose or Miss Strangeworth. Furthermore, the theme of this story is two-facedness, in which an individual cannot be assessed solely based on his or her appearance because we do not know how the person truly is. The author also employs literary devices such as metaphor in her work, giving it a literary touch. And then this is the last section of this analysis. This is the references I use. Pradopo, Riffaterre, and the Yuki A essays. I think this is the end of my discussion. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you can understand my explanation clearly. Thank you.